Once upon a time, before kingdoms, before cities, before people, and before the world had shape, there was only the beginning of everything. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was empty and dark, and God's Spirit moved over the waters. But creation was not forgotten. The Spirit of God moved over the deep, and the empty world waited for His command. Then God
Let
spoke,
there be light.
and light broke through the darkness. God separated the light from the darkness. He called the light day, and the darkness He called night. Then God made the sky. The heavens stretched wide above creation like a great open space filled with wonder. The waters gathered together, and dry land appeared. Hills rose, shorelines formed, and the seas found their place. Then the earth became alive with green. Grass covered the land, flowers opened, and trees reached toward the sky. God placed lights in the heavens. The sun ruled the day, the moon ruled the night, and stars filled the sky. Birds flew across the sky, fish moved through the waters, animals walked across the land. The world was beautiful, but something was still missing. Someone who could see its beauty, care for it, and walk with God. Then God formed the first man from the dust of the ground and gave him the breath of life. Adam opened his eyes for the first time. Adam walked farther into the garden. On the other side of Eden, he found trees, flowers, rivers, and light beyond anything he had seen. Tall trees rose above him, their leaves shining in the light. Every branch, every flower, and every sound felt new. Adam knelt and touched the grass beneath his hand. It was soft, cool, and full of life. A gentle wind moved through the garden, carrying the sound of leaves, flowing water, and life all around him. Adam sat in the open garden and looked toward the sky. He did not yet understand everything, but he knew he was not alone. Adam looked upward with reverence. The voice of his Creator
I formed you and gave you life.
filled the garden with peace.
This world is good. You will care for what I have made.
Adam listened with humility. His life had purpose, and the garden had been placed in his care. Adam walked through Eden with wonder. Every step showed him something new, and every part of creation spoke of God's goodness. He came to a clear river flowing through the garden. The water sparkled under the light and moved gently beside him. Adam placed his hand into the river, and ripples spread across the surface. The world was alive with beauty and peace. Above him, birds moved across the sky with beauty and freedom. Adam watched them rise and disappear into the light. A smile slowly formed on Adam's face. Joy was new to him, just like every sound, color, and breath. The light around Adam felt warm and near. He was not alone because God was with him. Adam stood in the garden, no longer confused, but peaceful. He had life, purpose, and a world to care for. Then Adam saw the Garden of Eden in its fullness. It was beautiful beyond anything he had seen. He stepped under hanging vines and bright leaves. The garden opened before him like a living paradise. Rivers flowed through the garden, giving life to the trees and plants around them. Every kind of tree grew there, pleasing to the eye and good for food. The garden gave abundantly. In the garden stood the tree of life, full of beauty and wonder. But there was another tree in the garden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil.
You may freely eat from every tree of the garden.
God gave Adam freedom, abundance, and every good thing he needed. But from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you must not eat. Adam listened carefully. The garden was full of freedom, but one command stood before him.
If you eat from that tree, death will enter your life.
The warning was serious, but it was given for Adam's good. Adam lowered his head in trust. He heard the command of God and received it with a humble heart. Adam turned away from the forbidden tree. The garden was full of life, and God had given him more than enough. Adam began to care for the garden. He walked among the trees, watched the plants, and guarded the place God gave him. Then the animals came before Adam. Gentle creatures stepped from the garden, birds rested nearby, and small animals gathered around him.
You're so strong, yet so gentle. I feel such joy being with you. Let's walk together in this garden.
Adam named the first animal. Birds flew above Adam, filling the sky with movement and sound. He watched them with wonder as they passed over the trees. A small, playful creature ran near Adam's feet. Adam watched it with joy, amazed by the life moving all around him.
Deer, rabbit, bird.
One by one, Adam named the creatures of the earth. Then Adam began to notice something. The animals were not alone. Each one had another like itself. Adam looked around the garden. It was beautiful and full of life, but there was no one like him. And God saw that it was not good for the man to be alone. So God caused Adam to fall into a deep sleep. The garden grew still. The wind softened. The birds became quiet, and golden light rested over Adam. While Adam slept, God formed the first woman from him. Her name would be Eve, and she would become his companion. Eve opened her eyes for the first time. She saw the light, the flowers, and the beauty of Eden around her. The garden surrounded Eve with warmth, color, and peace. Everything was new, and everything was good. Adam opened his eyes and saw someone standing before him. He looked at her with wonder, joy, and curiosity.
She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man.
Adam was no longer alone. Adam and Eve stood together in Eden. They were innocent, at peace, and surrounded by the goodness of God. Adam and Eve lived in peace. They walked together, looked around the garden, and enjoyed the world God had made. The garden was full of beauty and life. Every tree was a gift, and every path was filled with peace. But in the garden stood one special tree. It was beautiful, quiet, and important. As the sun began to set, Adam and Eve rested in the field. They looked up at the golden sky, peaceful and unaware of what was coming. Far across the garden, the special tree stood in silence. Soon, another voice would enter Eden, and one choice would change everything. And so, the first man and woman lived in the garden God had made. Everything was peaceful. Everything was good. But beyond the quiet beauty of Eden, another voice was waiting. The story is not over. In the next episode, a choice will be made, and the world will never be the same.